Alright guys, quick video. So I made I guess like a G.I. Joe Dreadnought is kind of what I was shooting for with the guy and a sky bike. So I'll move these things around so you get a better look at them individually. But the bike is a Wildcats bullet bike that I found at a shop. Pretty cheap, so I thought I would do something with it eventually, but I did it sooner than later. But anyway, let me separate these guys. You can see there's the bike. Let me turn this light off. Probably see it a little bit better. But let me do the figure and the bike individually and kind of go over everything I've done. Just give me 1 second. Alright, so the bike itself, like I said, was that Wildcats bike. It did have tires on it. I separated this. It wasn't too hard to take it apart. This top piece here was a little bit of a pain. So I could do some modifying to it and do some painting. So let's see if I can do this here with the camera. So this, hold on, let me get a pointer. So this part of the exhaust actually attached here. There was another piece that popped on here. Let me see. I have it here. So this piece went in that hole, and then this end screwed onto that. So this exhaust was actually back farther. But when you put the figure in here, it was kind of tight, and well, I'll just show you. So this area in here was all solid, here and underneath. So I cut all that out so I could tuck his legs in there and not hit that piece that was on the side. Now there's no real foot pegs or anything, but if you just jam the legs in there, it fits just fine. I was going to put some foot pegs in, but I just didn't really care to. So anyway, no modifications to the exhaust other than I just unscrewed it. The hole that this goes into, there's another pin in here that's screwed in there, so I just widened that out because this has a peg on it. I just widened that hole out, jammed it in there, glued it in place. Really didn't have to modify too much to that area to get that done. This is a cast piece I stuck in there. And painted it silver just to cover up that area, because there was a screw hole in there for that peg, so I needed to cover it up somehow. So I just cast that out of resin, stuck that in there. Like I said, the wheels are gone. The seat, I had to cut the seat out because the seat was pretty big. I was going to modify the seat, lower it, but I had to chop it up, and it was just getting to be a pain just for the look. So I just cut it out entirely, and I just put it's just some styrene sheet I put in there to cover the hole, and it's kind of like a sissy bar kind of thing. And it was just flat styrene sheet, so I added some texturing to it, just to break it up so it just didn't look flat. I know it's a seat, and it's not really like a leathery look, but it's something. Alright, so what else we have on this side? These things, where was my pointer? These had a hole in the back, because I think there's like a spring-loaded missile that went in here. And so there was a hole in here. I guess that's how you loaded it. I really don't know. And then this black piece was attached to the vehicle. So you would take this, rotate this up. There was a hole in this end. Sorry. A hole in this end. Then you push this button and it would shoot that out. So this just screwed into the side of the vehicle. So I just covered that. I think just with some resin, cover the hole, and then I took it off of here, glued it onto here. I cut the peg off and just glued it on there to make it just like a blaster. So I didn't want the hole showing. And they turned, oh, killed it. They turned 360. I don't know why you would want to, but they do. And that's the same on both sides. Nothing really going on in the back. I was going to fill all this in and stuff, but I just left it because I kind of liked it being open like that. So this side, pretty much same as the other side. Cut all this out to put the legs in, resin piece, move the exhaust. Same thing with that. The front, not a whole lot of modifications in the front, other than this area here. I filled that in with some panels because that's where the wheel went, so it's just a big open area. I was going to fill in the bottom with plate, but I kind of liked it open, like when you see it from an angle, it's open. And then this front, you have to kind of hold it. I don't know if you can see. It's spring loaded, but to get the cannons to pop up, you have to hold it down all the time. You can see those cannons kind of pop out. So I was going to take the spring out of there, so I could like just rest it there if it would. I'm not sure if it would, so I don't have to hold it down the whole time. But I didn't know how that would work, and I didn't want to mess with it 10 different times, so I just left it. It's fine, whatever. But that's about really it for the bike that I can think of. Let me grab the figure. I'll be right back. Alright, here's the figure. I have not named him yet. If you got a name for him, drop him in the comments below. This is a knockoff Uzi. I just put some paint on. I'll show you where that goes on the bike later. This guy is a whole mismatch of different things. So the legs are Tiger Force Juke, I believe. I repainted them in a glossy black, so they're like leather pants. Really didn't do anything to these. I painted those flat black just so they stood out a little bit. This holster or sheath and pouches are from some G.I. Joe guy. I don't know who. Slightly had to modify the legs a little bit to get those to fit. I just, there's a pocket on the pants. I just sanded it down a little bit. On this side, same thing. I sanded down the pocket a little bit to get this thing to fit. I have no idea where that came from. Sorry, my hand keeps getting in the way. Yeah, I have no idea where that came from. So let me see if I can do this one-handed. There we go. So So the knife, I have no idea where that knife came from. It does come out. This little pocket was here. I was going to cut that off. I really didn't know what to put on it. So it helps if I zoom in a little bit. But I had that funky knife laying around, so I said, just give me another knife. I didn't really have anything else to put in there. This sheath is a back holster. I believe that was a Copperhead or somebody like that. It had a big revolver that went in it. This is just a pistol, a machine pistol. I cut a slot in here so that the magazine fits through it. And I just thought that was silly for a guy like this, a big machine pistol strapped to his leg. It is on the left side because his right hand would be the throttle hand for the bike. So if he's going to shoot, it's going to be with his left. So I put the gun on his left side. While I'm here, these gloves, the hands in these collars, I can't remember what figure they came from. I thought the gauntlet style kind of gloves was kind of cool, so he got them. They just popped on. Legs popped on, no problem. Let's go back to the front. So this like diaper piece was Copperhead. So I wanted to use it because it had like this plating here, but mostly for the belt buckle. I don't know if it's focusing, but it's like a skull, so I thought that was kind of cool. Let's see, the arms I wanted because it has a tattoo of something here. I don't know what the heck it is. And here, those are from, I think, one of the Dreadnoks. I don't remember. I got so much crap in my fodder bin. Chest is Gung Ho because he had that nasty tattoo that I have no idea what it is. The vest, I believe, is some Marvel Legends guy. I don't remember, but I did do some repainting on it just to give things some pop so they stand out. The head is Marvel Legends. It popped on no problem, so it fully functions. The sunglasses you can lift up and put them on his head. The hair, I just dreadnocked it up, really. The back, nothing really going on there, just some repainting just to give things to stand out, because everything was pretty much in this green. So that's really it for that guy. Not really a whole lot going on there. Ooh, go back on there. Not a whole lot of painting going on. Literally everything, it just heated and popped it. The chest, the butterflies, and the waist behind the diaper are all and the neck assembly is all part of the same thing. Like I said, different legs, different diaper, different arms, different head. Just heated it up in front of a space heater, popped everything apart, swapped all my parts around. That's it. So let me see if I can cram him on the bike, and I'll show you that in a second. Alright, so here he is on the bike. With the muscular torso, I had some big muscular legs on there, and they actually fit in here better than these skinny legs. But I wanted to use the skinny legs because he had knee pads and leg armor, which I thought just kind of looked cool with the figure, you know, with the other armor he has. So if these shin guards were off, these legs would tuck up in here, way up here. I could point the toe would be up here, because I did try it with some other legs. I just didn't like how the legs, just plain legs, looked on the figure. So the leg does jam up in there. The tension on the vehicle to the shin armor holds them in place. You can see his butt sits down on the seat for the most part. It's kind of hard to tell. Now, I did just cram him on here real quick to shoot the video. I can manipulate him with the articulation, get him to sit. Pretty perfect, other than he's not leaning back on the sissy bar, but I mean, that's fine. So you can see head on, he looks pretty good. Pretty wild with the screaming face and mohawk. I had been holding on to that head for a while to use for a Dreadnought. But I really didn't have a motorcycle for him to go on or something to do with him. So I thought this would be pretty wild to put him on a sky bike. I don't know if that light helps. Probably not. A lot of glare. But yeah, works pretty good. And the neat thing about these is I can just grab these and use it as a handle. It's on there pretty stout, or I can always just grab the whole bike and zip them around. Throw the cannons up. And they move independent of each other, so he can have multiple targets. And then the Uzi, I just threw it up on the dash because I thought that would be a wild place for it. He can just grab it real quick with either hand if need be. And it's not really going to go anywhere. You can see he fits in there pretty good. But yeah, I don't have a name for him or the bike. If anybody's got any ideas, let me know. Other than that, thanks for watching.